and he dedicated it to my mom, and she loved it. Okay, it says, the name of it's Utah Queen of the West. She's north of Arizona, the great Grand Canyon state. She's east of old Nevada, where the gambling tables lay. She's she's northeast. She's west of Colorado, southeast of Idaho. South of old Wyoming, where the bronco twisters grow. She's southeast of Idaho. Oh, I was born in Utah, the queen of all the West. She harbors nature's wonders. Her scenery is the best. The Lord made Zion Canyon with his loving, tender care, and you stand in awe and wonder at the picture fairies there. The tourists come to Utah, where the Mormon temples stand, where the tourists spend their winters, and the good Lord favors man. You can search this world over, but if you're looking for the best, you're going to come right back to Utah, the queen of all the West. And I met him about the third time I was over in Elko, and I couldn't believe he wrote this poem, but he did, and it goes like this. Now, Jake the rancher went one day to fix a distant fence. The wind was cold and gusty, and the clouds hung dark, low, and dense. Now, when Jake had pounded the last staple and gathered his tools to go, the temperature had fallen, and the wind and the snow was beginning to blow. Now, when he reached his pickup truck, it was with a heaviness of heart, because if he turned that old ignition, he knew it wasn't going to start. So Jake did like most of us did if we'd been there. Took off his hat and he bowed his balding head, and he said a loaf of prayer. Then he tried that ignition for one last time, and he softly cursed his luck, and they found him 3 days later, froze in the cab of that old truck. Now, Jake, he was a wandering man, and he did his share of roaming, but you know, when he got to heaven, it looked just like Wyoming. Oh, there were a few things different. One town had simply disappeared, Rock Springs. But the winds in Rawlins and Cheyenne was now just a gentle breeze. The BLM had been shut down, and they paid no grazing fees. But the Park and Forest Service folks, they didn't fare so well. They'd been sent to fight the fires in the wilderness of hell. Now, Jake, he had a wandering mind, so he saddled up and lit a shuck. Now, one day up in Cody, on an October afternoon, he met St. Peter at the bar of the old Proud Cut Saloon. Now they shared a frosty mug or two, maybe it was 3. Nobody there was keeping score. In heaven, beer is free. Now Jakey says to St. Peter, he says, you know, all my life I've heard that God, he answered prayers. But the one time The one time I called on him, he just plain wasn't there. So, does he answer prayers of some and ignore the pleas of others? That don't seem quite square, because we know all men are brothers. Maybe it's the time of day, the weather, or the season. Or maybe he just answers prayers without good rhyme or reason. Now, I'm not trying to be smart, but it's just the way I feel. And I was wondering, Peter, could you tell me what the heck's the deal? Now, Peter had listened quietly until old Jake was done, and then a smile of recognition crossed Peter's face to spread, and he said, "Ah, you're the one. That day your truck, it wouldn't start. You set your prayers aflame. You give us all a real bad scare, with hundreds of us trying. 10,000 angels run to check the status of your file. You know something, Jake? We haven't heard from you in more than just a while. It's true God answers prayers of all believers, and he ain't got no quota. But he didn't recognize your voice, and he started some old boy's truck way out in North Dakota." Bustin' Broncos.
Did I see you?
Now, I've been a bustin' Broncos off and on since first I hit the trail. And you bet I savvy Broncos from their nostrils to their tail. I struck one on Powder River, and I thought he was the first and only living Bronco yours truly cannot burst. He was a no-count buckskin, wasn't worth 2 bit to keep, had a black streak down his backbone, and was woolly like a sheep. That horse wasn't meant to tread the earth. He took natural to the air. And when he hit on terra firma, he tried to leave me there. Now, I'm not riding airships, nor electric flying beasts, and I haven't got rich relations awaiting me back east. I've sold my shops and saddles, and my spurs can lie and rust, 'cause there's now and then a Bronco yours truly cannot bust. Thank you.